Yeah, my name is Vasil Grozdanoski. I work at IDEA. It's the organization that organizes this event, this camp, and I'm co-founder in Fox Media House, which is a digital agency, and we're also working on Drupal. So yeah, I'm soon to be a master of computer science. I'm finishing my master's maybe 3 or 4 years now. I hope this year will be the final. How many of you guys work Drupal actually? Or a little bit? Okay. And how many didn't work Drupal at all? You're in the right session. Okay, so I started working Drupal 2009. Basically, it was one project, which was a big project, and I was thrown in the fire, because it was already a built project. We wanted just to maintain the site. There were like, I don't know, maybe 20 developers working before that, and the site was very messy. It was built in Drupal 6, and then we had a problem. Why I'm saying we had a problem? Because they wanted to migrate from Drupal 6 to Drupal 7. We'll talk about migration a little bit later. So yeah, basically I've worked on different positions and different projects, web application development. I've tried basically everything. Everything to find my IT skills. And finally I found Drupal, and I like it very much. So 5+ years of working on it. And the Drupal community is on the very beginning now. We started it to see how many of us are working Drupal, how many of you are interested in Drupal. And basically, the goal of the community is to share experience between each other. We had some meetups. We'll have them after the camp also. Basically, just to know what's the power of this CMS, because you're all in Drupal sessions, so I'm sure you're interested in it. We'll make the comparison between, let's say, WordPress, Drupal. Does anybody work WordPress here? Okay. Okay. And yeah, I told that we are organizing this camp. So why Drupal? Do you have some answer? Why do you use Drupal? Someone who uses Drupal? Why do you like using Drupal?
I will start. I use Drupal because it's an easy way to develop something. You can do almost everything from the UI, and by clicking a few buttons, you can make something work.
Yeah, sure. That's maybe the main goal of Drupal, because non-programmers can make a beautiful websites in Drupal.
Okay.
So, as you said, clicking a few buttons, you will create the website. But after that, if you want to make more powerful solutions, you need to get more diggy in it. So yeah, before installing Drupal or trying Drupal or whatever, it's a very good idea to get overall sense of what it is and how does it work. So yeah, I will try to give you the big picture about it, and let's start digging. First of all, we need to prepare the terrain. So if you, let's say, you need to have the big picture in your head. The picture in your head, well, what are you trying to make? Is it a website? Just an informational website for a company? Is it an e-commerce solution? Is it some kind of shop? Is it a company website for some company that has certain workflow at the behind. So yeah, you need to have an idea what you want to do, and at the end you will see the big picture. Are you all familiar with servers hosting, LAMP, WAMP, and stuff like that? Okay. So basically, Drupal requires server, which is on Apache, Nginx, or Microsoft. It requires 60 megabytes of disk space. So yeah, that's with no pictures and stuff like that. You can install Drupal 6 works on MySQL 4.1. Drupal 7 works on MySQL and this other Postgres, and Drupal 8 now works on MySQL 5.5.3 or MariaDB. So basically that's the main configuration, and you have to have a PHP version which will fit the Drupal installation. So yeah, what is Drupal? It's fundamentally is an open source content management system. Someone calls it not CMS content management system, but also CMF content management framework. It's open source, so you'll get it for free. You can develop modules or themes or whatever for your needs. Also, it has a simple web-based tools, which with a few clicks you can do things. You can control the content, or the author itself can control the content, the data. And Drupal smoothens and boosts the whole process of it. So what can basically Drupal do? And why is it different from, let's say, the most popular WordPress and Joomla? First of all, is because it's reliability. Yeah, it's reliability. Okay, it first developed from version 4, is the official version that was in 2001 something, when it was open source. And now, these days, we're expecting Drupal 8 to be published. You will get more information about Drupal 8 at the panel discussion today at the end. So if you develop version by version, you get more reliability. You have available resources, which are for free. You don't need to pay big money for a slideshow presentation or whatever, Twitter or something. So yeah, you get the free resources, and as a user, you have a benefit. You can benefit greatly from someone else's effort and experience. So that's why we're talking all the time, and we are here, the community. Drupal, because it's open source, it has a very good and powerful community, and they deliver things so you can, get them for free and make a big profit from it. You can install a few modules, you can get themes for free, and you can make a website with less effort. The community, that's what we're talking about. So it's robust and convenient. It has complex and advanced work. This is when you go and learn Drupal, what's Drupal, then you go and learn the complex and advanced work. It's very flexible, so you can create a website of any type, any kind you want. It's scalable. You can update and upgrade. I'm talking about the modules, the themes, the core. And it has a very strong built-in security. The main goal when they are developing the new versions, like say in Drupal 8, they're very focused on the security. Because we, in some research is made, yeah, it's you know, everything has its flaws, but you will see somewhere, I don't know, 200,000 Joomla websites hacked. You know, they're not paying so much attention to the security, which is not the case in Drupal. So what can you do with Drupal? What can you build in Drupal? If you want, you can make personal or corporate websites. For example, you can make, I don't know, Vasil Grozdanoski.mk, something. It's personal site, like bio, like Twitter, and stuff like that. Community portal sites, corporate sites. You can make a blog, some kind of art or multimedia sites. You can create forums there, so people can talk. Let's say international sites. This is also a very good and powerful thing about Drupal, because you can make websites with multi languages. So we at IDEA we have 42 subdomains, which are in different languages. From one of it is Arabic, so everything is from right to left. When you open the site, the logo is not on the left, but it's on the right. And yeah, those kind of things are, let's say, very easy to make in Drupal. Also, they are focusing very much on the translation of the core. So when you open your backend, it can be translated to Macedonian or Serbian or whatever. This is very popular these days, the e-commerce site. There is a session for e-commerce.
Yeah, that's what you.
Where? When? Yeah. E-commerce is for 3:30 to 4:30. That will be also a very interesting session. Yeah, social networking sites and whatever. So who is using Drupal? As our keynote Jem said, why I'm satisfied and why I'm sure that I need to use Drupal is because this kind of organization, let's say. And so White House is using Drupal, the Twitter developer community is using Drupal, Zynga, General Electric's, Virgin Airlines, and you know, there are really big companies that decided to use Drupal, so why shouldn't you use Drupal?
Tesla Motors, the Prince of Wales as well.
Yeah, yeah. There are many. If you can search them online, like big, who is using Drupal, big corporations, and yeah, there's Tesla Motors also. Very big companies. So we are talking about the community all the time, and we will mention this maybe more these days. So it's open source software for beginning. The modules are available to all without burden of expensive licensing fees. Also, Jem said that why should you pay Microsoft, I don't know, thousands of euros for the license when you can do it for free because it's open source. This here we come to the decision passion versus money. And because the community is very passionate about developing modules, developing stuff, the money comes second. But they do that according to this is one research made. So Drupal developers get diggy about building things. They contribute to the community because they want to, not because they have to. So maybe they will not get the benefit from it, but they're contributing because, as Jem said, open source is take something and give something in return. So yeah, if I create a module for my needs and I see the potential in it, I can see that people want to use to satisfy the need. So why should I keep it for myself? I downloaded, I don't know, 1,000 modules maybe to use for my site. I will create this module and give back to the community. So yeah, basically, Drupal Association is the company, let's say a company, right? that creates association, creates events and meetups, and Acquia, Jem is from Acquia. It's the main company, or it's the company which is started from the Dries Bayret. Is the creator of Drupal. And there's an interesting story about Drupal, how it all started. He was on his college and he wanted to create some kind of portal that he will communicate with his colleagues afterwards when they finish. And at first, Drupal was not named Drupal. The domain was dorp.org. And afterwards, they, by mistake, registered in drop.org. Drop means, water drop, and Drupal is English for water drop in Belgium language. So, drop of water in Belgium is Drupal. So that's how the name started.
I actually want to add something about the modules for free. Nowadays, if you want to be a really good developer, no matter in what you're working, you need to be social developer. And what the community brings when you share a module is actually making a review of your code and giving you a suggestion where you can improve, which actually makes you a better developer. And this is really important if you really want to have a good professional life, is to actually share your code. Because first it's a bit scary because other people will comment on what you're doing, but then when starting discussion why and how you're building things, it actually makes you a much better developer. And actually there is an obvious trend in productivity and the skills of developers if they start contributing to open source. If they start doing this, they become much more productive and much more better professionals. So it's free, but you're actually investing in developing yourself, which is without a price, if you ask me.
There's one sentence which I'm telling everywhere. Open source means business. So that's what Ruben said now. So you get it for free, and you use it to create your own business. This is one sentence which is saying don't code, use modules. Why are we saying that? Because there's in the Drupal community there's some saying that there's a module for that. I need some website that will, take me to some event, create a list of events. Don't bother do that. Don't code. There's a module for that. So this is the number which I don't know. It's strict. There are now around 25,000 modules available. And when you want to download some module or create some, first you need to do some research. Why? Because maybe already started it. Just you need to continue the development. Or maybe you don't need exactly that what you have in mind. So do your homework, basically. And Drupal has a very, very good documentation. So you need to read the documentation before coding, before developing things, and go with the head into the wall. So also there are development versions, so dev versions, and if you find something like that, don't be afraid to use it. You learn Drupal from tutorials. You have lots of video tutorials. Drupalize.me is one of the, let's say, top 5. Buildamodule.com, Lullabout, SiteGround, Lynda. There are a couple of websites where they offer a video tutorial. And if you want to build something, let's say produce do your research, what you want to build, and then spare a couple of hours, maybe an hour, a couple of hours, whatever, and watch the tutorials. There's a practical explanation there. Along with it, you can read the documentation of what module should I use, how does it work, how it can be configured, and stuff like that. Also, if you're stuck somewhere, you can ask questions on Stack Overflow, Code Karate, and mostly on Drupal.stackandstream.com. Whenever I asked a question, I had a problem, I received an answer in no more than 24 hours. But you know, when you're developing, you're kind of in a hurry, and sometimes it happens that someone answers your question in 2 minutes or 3 minutes. So yeah, that's why I'm talking about the community all the time. What's the Drupal structure? Because it's open source, it has the GPL license. You can build it with LAMP, whatever. So Drupal is PHP, you need server and MySQL database, right? And also some kind of operating system in the background. This is the architecture. First of all is the Drupal core, then it's the module and themes. And I was talking about translation and installing profiles, we'll talk about that later. So when you get Drupal and you download the Drupal distribution, the core, you only get the core. It has the built-in modules and built-in themes, which are very basic. So this is the themes and module, you can see it's custom, contribute, and core. You get the core themes and core modules. You can have contributed themes or modules, and you can make your own or custom themes or module. And also, yeah, the translation and the profiles. The most important thing of how Drupal will be structured and how it will look like, it depends on you when you install it, when you create it. The most important things are maybe the blocks, and regions. So let's say Bibikov didn't allow me to write on the board. So let's say this is our region, which is sidebar right. This is our region, which is called sidebar left, and this is the main content. I can put blocks. I can develop blocks. I can create blocks with my own HTML, with my CSS, and put them where I want them to be. In this region, to be first or second, or at the top, or wherever. You can change after that. You can change it very easily. One of the most interesting thing about Drupal is you can have a multi-site on it. When I was talking about my organization, my company, I told you we have 42 subdomains. So yeah, I can put how many subdomains I want in one code base, but they're using separate MySQL databases. So it means that if I change something on our main site, it won't be changed everywhere, but I can select on which domain should the change be made. Yeah, so you can develop custom theme. You can also find a custom themes which are for sale on Theme Forest or whatever. You can buy a theme if you want the website to look like your website to look like that theme. But also you can create a custom theme to fit your needs, your colors, your whatever. This should be left, this should be 2 pixels right. And also you can create, as I said, a custom module. You just need to follow the Drupal API. The documentation is fantastic. And it's very easy to find a solution, implement it in your code, then manage to change it or do whatever, or you can start from the beginning following the API. The second thing is the content types and views. So you have a content type, let's say, I want to make, for example, for real estate website. The basic fields in one content type are title, the title of the content, the body, and author name, and the date of when the post or article is published. The content types in Drupal, you can add or remove fields very easily. So, for example, if I want to make a content type for a real estate agency, besides the title and the body, I will put a field which I can upload a picture of, which I can set a link to it, whatever you can imagine. So you're structuring your content, your articles on your way. So add a field, remove a field, whatever. Install some modules that will help you with it to configure it. Yeah. Views is a very powerful module which is also used in every Drupal installation. Till Drupal 7 it was like a contributed module, you can download it from the Drupal.org project. And now in Drupal 8 it will be in the core because it's very useful, it's very powerful, and you can do stuff with it. So basically, if you want to create default front page, but with sorted order, views is basically pulling data from the database. So you're structuring the data however you want. So I want the 5, let's say we have a blog post. I want in my blog to show first the 5 newest blog posts. I can sort them ascending or descending. I can sort them randomly. I can sort them the 5 most viewed or recently visited. So all of that is done in the views. So you pull the data from the databases and you manage it how to look like. I can add fields like I want in that blog or in that page to be shown the content, the user picture, the date when it's created, and maybe have some header or footer or whatever. The beauty about Drupal is because you can create multiple users with different permissions. You can the administrator has all the privileges in the site. You can do everything, and you can create roles that in Drupal are called roles, and deliver them separate permissions. For example, if I have a newspaper site, I have a certain workflow. So I have someone who writes the news, someone who's editing the news, and someone who's publishing the news. So the one who's writing cannot publish the news. The one who's editing can publish the news, but can't write articles. So you can create whatever roles and with different permissions that you need. Taxonomy. Taxonomy is a powerful category system that allows you to organize and tag content. So each group of categories can be limited to certain content types. For example, I have, let's say, one vocabulary, taxonomy vocabulary, which is called music. And I have subterms in it and subterms. So if I have category music, or taxonomy music, and I have category term jazz and subterm fusion. I can filter the content. So let's say I have thousands of content for music events happening in, I don't know, the next 3 or 4 months. And I want to filter all the content to give me in category music, which has jazz term. So, and it has fusion as a subterm. So give me just the content which is jazz, and it's not swing jazz, but it's fusion jazz. And this is very powerful for filtering. Why should you use Drupal? Because it will help you win in situation. So why these are the key ways why Drupal will help you win. We have risk migration. So because everything is already checked, you're completely free and secure to use it. It focuses on the core of your business. And yeah, finally, open source means business. So I want to talk about distributions too. So when you install the Drupal, you download the Drupal core. As I said, you will get the core modules and core themes. But if you want something, some package, for example, I want to build an e-commerce website, and I don't want to develop it from scratch. Yeah, sure. There's a solution for that. You download Commerce Kickstart, which is based on Drupal comments and is used for online store. So when you download Commerce Kickstart and you install it, you have a ready-to-use solution for your online store. You can then modify it based on your needs. You can enter articles in it, whatever. But you have a very good starting point. You already have the website, the whole package installed, and you just do your own thing afterwards. Open Publish is also a great distribution which is used in the news industry. You can, if you want to do your site to be a magazine-like, newspaper-like, journal, broadcast, whatever. So it's a ready package which is ready to go in distribution. The Open Atrium is also very good distribution, which is used for internet, social collaboration platforms, stuff like that, and Drupal Commons for online communities. If you visit Drupal.mk, it's a community, Macedonia community site. We installed it on Drupal Commons distribution. So you are installing it and you want to want to choose how the site will look like, and you already have on it to create news, to create events, structured content types, structured views, everything is ready to go. Then we managed to fit our needs. And basically, that's if you want to build something simple, to have something, and you need it in distribution, you'll spend like an hour or two. That's it. Very interesting thing to mention is because besides WAMP and all the other things that you can install it as a server on your local computer, there's a distribution. Actually, it's a program that you install on your desktop, your Mac computers or Windows computers. You can run and develop sites locally, and optionally we can synchronize them with Acquia Cloud. Acquia Cloud is cloud platform provided by Acquia. So I had a situation when, let's say, developing a website which is already developed, it has a lot of things in it. I tried to import it in WAMP, and everything breaks. I don't know, database can be uploaded because it's too big. Something in this configuration are misconfigured, and you just do the regular thing, you open the site and it doesn't work on web. And there's a very good thing in Acquia desktop that you just select the files, you just import it. You just click import, and the files, the database and the file structure, the files will be imported in, and that's all you need to do. So it's a free app that allows you to run and develop Drupal sites locally on a computer, and optionally host them in Acquia Cloud. It's used to evaluate Drupal and test other Drupal modules. For example, you have a production site which is online and working. You just need to create a backup from it and install it on Drupal desktop. You can then test the modules, create your own module without damaging the production site, the online running website. Thank you for that. I think I explained what Drupal is. If you have any questions, feel free to ask it. Okay. So how many of you who weren't working in Drupal are now interested in Drupal? That's a great number. Okay, let's see how this will work. Do you have your laptops installed with WAMP or whatever? Something?
Hopefully.
Okay. I'm going to fire up my WAMP, and you know how to create locally a website on WAMP. Okay. First of all, I'll create a folder here, which I will call Drupal MK test site test. Okay, so I will now go to Drupal.org. Come on. Okay. Okay, so if you want to try your Drupal at home, how does it work? You just go to download and extend. You can see that the newest version is Drupal 7.36. So I've talked about Drupal 8. It's not yet in production. It's in beta version. So yeah, Michael Schmidt will answer your questions if you want to know when will it come out and how it be. So yeah, you can here read the documentation, read what's in it, what does it offer, and you can download the recommended version there to create a database, which we'll call Drupal MK test. Copy this. And now, if I go to my one local host, here it is. Right? Okay. I'm very lazy to put the local host host folder, host file. So, okay. So this is the wizard for installing a Drupal installation. You can choose what do you want to do, the standard installation or the minimal installation. We'll do the standard. You can learn how to install Drupal in other languages. That was what I was talking about. If you want your Drupal to be in Macedonian or Spanish or whatever, you know. But with the installation that comes built in English language. So I will put my database name here on WAMP. Username is root. There is no password. Okay. I didn't create the database, right?
Yeah, you did.
Okay. So it now connects to the database and it's installing if you like taxonomy module, all the modules and contributed themes.
I have a question.
Yeah.
We need to enable some permissions for the security.
Yeah, sure, but you as a managed server administrator should know that basically if you're a basic user, you need to tell your hosting company to enable and prepare your server for Drupal installation. Yeah, you need to enable some folders, let's say for permission 777, for example, the files folder, where when you upload all your pictures and stuff. But you should talk if you have some kind of problem with it with your hosting company or your server administrator.
And actually on Drupal.org there is a page where all the requirements are explained, and you can refer to this page with your hosting provider to get the details of what is needed.
Yeah, but only in the installation part we will notice the permission folder change.
No, it is actually in the installation process. It checks all the requirements and it will give you an alert message if something is not. It does not. It cannot create the files directory. An example, it alerts you. So the installation process is made with very error-proven process. It shows you all the possible errors that you can get.
So if all the requirements are not passed, then you will get it. You cannot continue installing it because you don't have the requirement. So okay, how do you want to? Okay, let's name the site test site.
Our first Drupal site.
Sure. Okay, and you enter your admin email address. We'll do something.
It's useful for forget password.
Yeah, if you forget your password, you can always. So, what will be the username of your maintenance user, admin or administrator? This is your email. We'll set a password. So you have a password requirement here to make your password stronger. That's also a very good built-in function. So we'll do 2015 Drupal punctuation. What is it called? Yeah, punctuation. You can choose the default country. Macedonia.
You have to confirm the password.
Oh, yes. What was it?
You can still use 1, 2, 3, 4.
Sorry? Okay, yeah. Okay. And you can check if you want to get the update notification to check the updates automatically, or you don't want them to bother you, you know, and receive email notification if you have a new version of some module, new version of the core and stuff like that. When it's all configured and installed, you just click save. Set the password. Everything is installed, so everything is finished, and I'm going to visit my new site. And you have your basic site in a couple of minutes. So, as you can see, it's structured with a basic theme that you can, if I want to have a site that looks like, I don't know, something, I can download the theme and develop it, like to be responsive to the CSS and all of that. Or I can buy a theme from Theme Forest and then install it here. You just go to Appearance, install new theme, and that's it. This is the 3 or 4 themes which are basic in Drupal: Start, Garland, and Budget, and Setup, of course. So this is the administration panel, the administration menu. You can create a content here. You can create a content types here also. What are the content types? We have article, basic page, news page, blog page, whatever. You know, you're just creating it by yourself, and that's it. You can just add content. I will add article, title, test title, some kind of body. I can upload an image. I can provide a menu link. You have your configuration here. So I can create a new revision if someone wants to review my article. I can manually create a path, the URL link for the site, for the content. It's pre-built. You can have comments on the content, or you don't want to have comments. You can authorize it. I mean, I wrote the article, but I want someone else to be the creator of the article, and you can publish or unpublish the content. You just save. Here's a new article. I can add comments. I can edit it. As you see, I've provided a menu link, so there's a home test. So yeah, that's basically, you have your website in 5-10 minutes. Thanks to Drupal, and you're now, let's say, on your own imagination, how you do your website want to look like. Do you have any questions?
One important thing that I think it's worth mentioning is that Drupal administration is not that user-friendly, so it takes time to get
learn.
used to it and to learn it. Don't be afraid. In the beginning it will be a bit scary experience, but this is something that in the Drupal community has constant effort to improve. And with every new release of Drupal it's better and better, but still it takes time to learn. The other thing worth mentioning is for Unix guys that are used to type and scripting things. There is a Drush language, which is basically a command prompt Drupal commands that gives you a possibility to actually script installing websites, upgrading modules, and all these daily procedures. And it's much faster. For example, installing a website, you just run one command. And it makes everything in the background.
Yeah, one important thing is the cache. It has its own built-in caching system in Drupal. And whatever you do, if you do something and it doesn't come out here, just remember to flash all your caches. So yeah, drush is a command line for Drupal. It's very fast. There's one command, drush cc_all, and it clears the cache like this from the database. Yeah, there's a lot of things, advanced things that needs to be mentioned, but we don't have enough time. Yeah, you can come to the meetups. We can talk about whatever you're interested. There are a lot of guys here working in Drupal. They can help you, or you have some kind of question. You want to develop something and you're stuck with it. You can just ask the community. We're here to help.
I have a question. Yeah. Does Drupal use some kind of a templating engine or language or something like that for the views, or it's just plain PHP? I mean, if I want to build let's say some kind of background functionality that is a front end, like it is some like front end features and some background features. Do I use just like plain PHP to write that down, or it has some kind of a templating language like Smarty or whatever? I don't know.
Well, no. Basically, yeah, you will use PHP, but there are built-in functions. If you go to api.drupal.org, you will find all whatever you need there. You need to follow that API, that structure. How can you write your code with that function? There's already built-in functions that you can use, and you can also develop your functions and your code. So whatever is for backend, wherever is controlling the front end from backend, it's
Actually, for the front end, there are
yeah, it
template
is the
files.
front end, right?
You can template everything in Drupal. So
Yes, but it's plain PHP. I mean, it's
no,
not
it's
some-
HTML. So you need to
yeah.
have a template HTML template structure,
Yeah,
which you combine with PHP, of course, to display stuff. And
yeah. I was mainly
But
concerned
at
about
the end, it's still PHP, which is the theming layer is a subclass of PHP. But in Drupal 8, what will happen in Drupal 8? They are going to use the Twig for the theme layer.
Yes, Drupal 7 uses basically PHP template. So it's a pure PHP.
Okay.
You don't need to learn any
Yeah.
other language, but you are able also to use different template engine like Smarty if you want. You can declare it and you can use it. There is even in Drupal 6 and 5 you could use it. Yeah, but in Drupal 8 there is a Twig implemented in Drupal.
Thank you.
Any more questions?
Can you go once again to the test page and
The URL?
yes.
Yeah. Because Drupal works on nodes, it is now node 1. But if I edit it, I can create an alias, for example, test. And see. The URL changes, but it's still node 1. It's the first node that I've created. So if I go to edit, there will be node 1/edit.
Is the routing customizable? I mean, instead of node 1, can we have like post / the name of the post?
Yeah, sure. There is one module. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a module.
Or there is.
Yeah, there's one module which is called Path Auto, and you can, for example, if I have article content type, basic page content type, I can put that there. That every article will be named. It will not be named node cross. I don't know, but it will be named article / something or my article / something. Yeah, there's a module. Sorry? Cyrillic? Yeah. For the URL?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a bit tricky, because if you write if I write the article in Cyrillic, the URL will be also in Cyrillic, but there's also a module for that. It translates the Cyrillic into Latin characters. And also you can, if you have your site on Macedonian, yeah, you can translate all the URLs with it. But if there's, for some example, that you have one or two articles, you can just, create an alias and that's it. For this kind of things, there are many workarounds. You can find a module for that. You can code your own. You can do aliases. You can install Pat Auto. You can, there's a lot of opportunities, but you need to choose one that fits you the most.
How easy is to go multilingual?
Very easy.
Very easy.
Yeah.
With a module also.
There's a module for that.
Yeah.
Actually, the language is also a way to contribute to Drupal. There is a huge database of different languages, and everybody can join
Translate
and upload.
You can translate your strings manually in the installation, or you can go on the language Drupal site and then there contribute to the language, translating the strings.
What about mobile version? Modules for detecting mobiles, it's all in?
Yeah, basically for mobile, I suppose you're talking about the appearance, right?
Yeah,
the responsiveness. Basically, you do that in the theme. And there's also modules that can detect if you're coming from, if you don't have a responsive site.
Yes.
But Drupal 8 is very concentrated on it, and in the very core, we'll have that functionality built in. So that's why that Drupal 8 is not coming. They're not rushing it, but they want to use all the new techniques in one place and then release it as a complete product.
And for Drupal 7, there are also quite a few free themes that are actually responsive. So you can just download the theme layer, the appearances is just like the modules. You can just download a responsive theme and work over it.
And actually, the detection, if you're coming from a map of the phone, is done with the JavaScript library. It's called modernizing.
Yes, so you can use JavaScript in.
Yeah, we can have a libraries. There's also a module for that. And then your teams will go with this libraries.
You don't need any JavaScript to detect mobile stuff like that. You just do CSS media queries and you redefine the site how it should look on certain resolutions, and that's it.
Yeah.
Nothing more than that. So.
Okay, guys, we need to finish because the next session started.